This is Mike Young of Athletic Lab Sports Performance Training Center. In this segment, we're going to talk about using complex to enhance speed and power development. Complexes are sequencing different activities together to create a training stimulus where the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. We're trying to trick the body into producing greater power output through post-activation potentiation. We can lift some of the neural governors which sometimes limit our performance by using complexes. The trick here is sequencing the activities together in a way that allows an athlete to do that. In this segment, I'll take you through 3 different variations that will allow the athlete to express more power on a sprint segment than they would otherwise be able to do, thereby enhancing the training stimulus. In this first complex, we're going to pair a straight leg bound and a 20-meter sprint. What we're trying to achieve here is activation of the hamstrings and glutes through the straight leg bound. We'll give Darian about 2 minutes of recovery in between and then ask her to do her sprint. If things go to plan, she'll run faster on the sprint than she otherwise would have if we hadn't paired it with the straight leg bound. So Darian, let's go ahead and go 20 meters, hard as you can, straight leg bound. When we do complexes like this, we want to make sure that the athlete has adequate rest and recovery. This is not a circuit. This is not an endurance building activity. So we still need to provide her with about 1 to 2 minutes of rest to ensure that when she goes after this sprint, she can bring all that she has. So now Darian is sufficiently rested. We'll have her do a 20-meter sprint. Let's go, big pushes. Another example of a complex that I like to use for speed and power development is complexing resisted runs with unresisted runs. This allows the athlete to both work on the technical and physical capacities of acceleration and to get the post-activation potentiation, which will allow her to run even faster on that unresisted 20-meter sprint. So what we're going to start with here is asking Darian to run 20 meters under resistance using a resistant harness. We'll give her adequate rest and recovery, and then we'll have her come back and run another 20-meter sprint. So let's go ahead and hit this 20-meter sprint here. Now after she's rested, we're going to ask Darian to do a 20-meter acceleration run. After she's finished that resisted run, she has the feedback of how to do it right. So let's go ahead and run 20 meters, hard as you can. Go. The last example of a complex that I like to use in speed and power training is pairing stiffness jumps with an acceleration run. What we're going to do here is use the stiffness jumps to prime the nervous system, make sure her legs are real stiff and ready to run fast. So what we're going to ask Darian to do is 8 jumps on the smart jump mat. We're going to receive instantaneous feedback, making sure that she's on and off the ground quickly, but still producing enough power to jump high. We should see an alternation of green and blue lights if she's doing it correct. So let's go ahead and hit 8 jumps, Darian. Well done. Now that Darian has done her stiffness jumps, we've primed the nervous system. We'll give her adequate amount of rest, and we're going to ask her to run a 20-meter sprint. We've used the stiffness jumps to enhance the neural drive, hopefully making her faster on this 20-meter sprint. So let's go ahead and go, Darian. Let's get after it.